Hello, hello, it's June Olson with Junebug Creations, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, coming to you live from Whitefish, Montana. How are you on this wonderful Thursday? It's almost the weekend, woohoo! And then it's Memorial Weekend, so for many people, not everybody, granted, for many people it's a 3-day weekend. Some people probably are taking a 4-day weekend. And for those of you that are teachers or have kids in school, it might be the start of your summer. So woohoo! Not here, although my summer is like all the time now. That's what happens when your kid graduates from high school, right? So our school goes until the first week of June or something like that here. So it takes a little while, but I know in the hotter areas further south in Arizona, New Mexico and stuff, they get out sooner, which is nice. And I know some in Tucson who are already on vacation. They finished last weekend. That was pretty surprising to hear. So I know that we have talked about me going through the catalog, our wonderful idea book, and going through and doing the techniques that are in here. But today I got really inspired. And when you get inspired, you know you gotta just go with it. Hi, Covina. Right? So when you get inspired, you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta make that. I want to make that. You gotta run with it. So I ran with it, and I was like, oh, this is what I'm doing live today. Even though I had something else planned, it was like, nope, this is what I'm doing. We'll go back to the idea book techniques. But today I was inspired. I was looking through my stash of cards to find a card to send to somebody that I haven't sent a card to in a long time. And I came across this card. And I was looking at it thinking, wow, that's really cool. And so then I started trying to figure out what papers are torn. How did she put this together? I got this card in a swap. And I was like, ooh, this is kind of cool. So I decided I was going to give it a whirl. And I did. So this was the card that I did. All right. Now I used the in colors because right now they're some of my favorite colors. And I used the ink pads to ink up the stamp set. And then I used the Pretty in Pink marker to color it in. And then I used the Pretty in Pink DSP with the Petunia Pop. And I just like how she had the lines here. And I thought, oh, I really like that. I'm going to copy that as well. And of course I added extra colors in. She has probably Night of Navy, slate gray, and then she has white, and I decided to go with 3 colors, and then I have a different sentiment piece here. Oh, forgot to grab the stamp set that I got the sentiment out of to show you. So the stamp set I used for the flower is this one, Spotlight on Nature. Beautiful set, and the dies that come with it are these dies. Now these dies, as you can see, they have a border, but they don't cut it out, so it's not. Some of them cut. No, none of them cut. They all make borders, just different kinds of borders and different sizes of borders. So for this one, I used this, but for the next card that I make with you, I'm going to use this one with the little lines. All right, so we can see how that looks. And see that they're so big that I had to overlap them to get them in here. And then these are some lovely stamps as well. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the flowers so I can show you how to use the markers to color those. It was very tricky using the stamp pads to color the ink, or to ink the stamp. I had to be very careful and putting it down, and then I accidentally got that flower the wrong color. It was green. It was Shy Shamrock at first, so I thought, you know what? This is how it looks when it is the ink pad. Let me show you how it looks when you use these. So the first thing we need is our white paper, and our white paper is cut, oh, which way? That's crooked. Our white paper is crooked, so it is cut. I did it at 4 inches, but I'm going to go ahead and go down here so that I can get it straight on one end at least, because that's got to go on the top. Is that straight? Yeah, it's straight. It just looks crooked to me. I'm not sure why. And then let me grab a piece of scratch paper. All right. So this is going to go on the top. We're going to be using a 4 1/4 by 11 scored at 5 1/2 piece of card base. It's the thick white. And then how you doing, Covina? Everything going good? Are you looking forward to the weekend? You got any plans? Are y'all going camping or anything this weekend? All right, here we go. So this will be going on top of here like that. All right. So we're going to first tear this piece here along the bottom like that. And you can tear it however you want. You can tear it at an angle, you can tear it all curvy, you can tear it however you want. The main thing is you want this edge to show up like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to start with our Shy Shamrock. And we're going to use the brush end of our marker. And I'm just going to brush and use the side of it. You don't want to use the point because you'll mess up your point. It will be gone if you use the point. All right, so here we go. And this is way easier than trying to make sure, because it's not photopolymer, trying to make sure that you don't get ink in the places you don't want to get ink. This is a lot easier to do. All right, so I'm just using my finger to brace the block. So I have that for the pen, for the marker. All right, I'm just gonna go over it again. All right, and you might be thinking, oh, June, that's gonna dry by the time you get the flowers done. Oh, but we have an easy little thing we can do to re-moisten it. So then we're going to use the brush end of this one to do the flowers. All right, so like that, and like that. So this is going to give it a little bit of a different look because it's not as sloshy wet as the ink pad would be. So that's why I wanted to show you two different looks. So I did the ink pad one, which was a challenge because of trying to make sure that I didn't get the ink everywhere. And then we'll just go back up. Try and follow the grain of the stamp so that you don't shred your brush end. All right, and then what you want to do is huff on it, because that brings the moisture back. All right, and then we're going to stamp it down, hold it for a moment so it can just kind of sink into the paper, and pull it up. So you can see how it is much lighter than the ink pad was. All right, it is much lighter, and that's okay because that just gives you different looks and different alternatives. So what I did is I used the brush end to color this in, made it very dark. So I'm going to use the bullet end, which is a smaller end. You can see here the brush end and the bullet end, and I'm going to see if the bullet end, if I can make it a little bit lighter because we don't want it to be overpowering. And I'm not going to fill it in completely. I'm just going to give it lines because I don't want it, with this being so delicate looking, I don't want it to be full. All right, let's get you zoomed in because you're probably thinking, June, I can't see that. Here we go. All right, how's that looking? I don't know what is going on with my camera. Can you see that okay? I don't know. I feel like the camera, if I want good color, there we go. Is that better? That's a little better. I don't know. I gotta figure out this camera. The colors just don't seem to be working as well. But I'm just doing little lines instead of filling it in solid. And that way it kind of gives it a little bit of a sketched look and keeps the delicateness of the stamping. All right, so let me just show you. So here the stamping is darker, all right, and more solid, and here the stamping is lighter and not as solid. So I just did the lines a little bit to fill it in. I'm gonna have to see, yeah, this camera seems a little off. All right, so let's move that out of the way. Now what we're going to do is going to take our, let's get everything we need to make the card. All right, so we're going to use our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with our plate 3 and our plate 2. And then I've got a piece of white here. Whoops. And we'll go ahead and do this circle so we can see what it looks like and how it looks a little bit different. I think it's going to look really cool though. All right. So there. Now see, that is more embossed versus cut. All right, so this one cut the little pattern out, and this one just embossed it. I think that's going to look pretty darn cool. All right, so let's go ahead and move that out of the way and put that there. We'll bring this back, or at least this back. All right, and we're going to stamp it with the thank you from the small business stamp set. I just love all the different variety of thanks. We have this thank you, thanks, and thanks. I love that about this stamp set. And I'm just going to do it in the Memento Black. I like to have, when I have a variety of colors instead of just picking one, I like to use the black. All right. So we just have thank you. Like that. Nice. Nice and bold. Nice and bold. All right. And then we have these colors. Now this one is just going to lay flat down here at the bottom. No tearing on this one. So let's go ahead and glue it down. We just kind of want a line. We don't want too much glue because we don't want any splooshing. All right, I'll bring this paper over just in case, and so I can make sure that I get it. I want to look at both sides. All right, like that. So that goes on the bottom. This one will go here on top, like that, and then these will be going in between. So there are two different patterns. I think we're gonna switch them up this time. All right, and so I just need to tear one side, and you can again tear it however you want. All right, so this one is going to go under here, and then this one is going to go under here, like that. All right, so what I did was, just to make sure this was balanced out, I went ahead, and you can see I'm using scrap paper, but you didn't know it from the other side. That's the beauty of our paper, because it's so dark, or so thick, that you can do that. So I'm just doing the sides here and the top and a little bit in the middle, but I know I'm going to shove some of this paper underneath, so I'm trying not to go all the way. So I'm going to put this all the way up here, but I'm not going to lay that down because I want to then put glue on this one. And I think, yeah, we're going to keep the order of the papers the same, but we're going to change up. All right, and then I'm going to stick that under here, and then I want to put glue on this one. And again, I'm sticking that up under here. Oops. That's why I'm not pushing them down yet. There we go. And I want to make sure it's lined up on the sides, and then we'll lay it flat. So it's kind of like a waterfall of the colors. Doesn't that look so cool? I love how that looks. Oh man, except the colors. What is up with that? Huh. Does that look a little better? That looks a little truer to color. Except then my hand looks really funky. But that's a little truer to color. So ignore my goofy hands. I do not know how to fix this. Ooh. We'll go back to automatic for that. All right, so yeah, my hands are goofy colors now, but now you can see that. So that is so weird. I have to do some learning. So weird hands. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to be putting this right here, but we want some greenery with it. And I've decided now that I have been looking for lots of different kinds of greenery to put behind things like this, and found that most of the stamp sets or the dies that I used to use are no longer available. So I'm going to have to look and see what else we have. But for the purpose of today, I used the bow punch, where it has the little flowers and the leaves. It does have a coordinating stamp set. And then these dies did not retire, even though the stamp set did. So the around the bend dies. So I used this piece right here, which is this. And what I'm going to do is just trim off the leafy piece that I want. And so I'm just kind of curving that and trimming that off so that I have this piece to use. And then I need to go into the dies and see what die could I use that would work even better. So putting some glue on the front of it, and I'm going to put it up here like that. All right, and then I'm going to put some glue here, and I want that to be down by the green, so they're kind of swapping sides for this one. All right, and then I want the pretty in pink. I'm just going to put a little bit right here on the stem. I want it to peek out over here. And then the little white one, do the same thing right next to it. And then I'm just going to have to come up with some new leafy things. Gonna have to find some other dies that have more. Now there were some other leaves in here that I could have used, these two leaves and this one, but I thought it would be easier to just have one. I just need one big one that I can put behind things all the way around. So this is just kind of one-sided instead of across. So she did hers top and bottom, and I did mine on the side. So then we're going to use some dimensionals. And I'm going to use 4 to help support it because there's so much on it. All right. And then I'm going to put it over here like that. All right. So we have the original that I got in a, there's no name on it, that I got in a card swap years ago. I haven't done a card swap in many years. Then I used the ink pads for this version, and I used the, Wow, that just really, sharpness. Maybe it's the sharpness. I don't know. All right, so the ink pads were used here, and I colored it in with the marker, and then the markers were used here, and look how fine the detail is. I mean, it really looks very nice. I like both of them. I can't even decide which one I like better. Do you like the one? Hello from Central Florida. All right, Honeybee, nice to have you on here. I'm trying to decide which one I like better, but my camera is really, I keep trying to decide if it's my glasses or my camera. It just doesn't look as great. Here, let me switch cameras. Maybe the one up here will look better. So this one is lighter and this one is bolder. All right. So there you have it. I love this technique of tearing the paper. It's called distressing. I used to use it in my scrapbooks all the time, and I forget to use it for my cards. So just an idea of what you can do with the papers and tearing them to give them that different look. So super fun. I just really liked, I was trying to figure out what other pattern I could use down here, but I really liked the way she used the lines, and that just really worked for me. So there you have it. Two possible ideas with those in colors, as you know, or maybe you don't know. I know Honeybee would know. If you really like these in colors and you want these in colors, you can get them for free. All right, these in colors are now for free. With, okay, you're like, June, okay, for free, there's a catch. Well, there is a catch. You would get them free with your starter kit. So it's $99 for a starter kit. You get $125 worth of product of your choice. You get to pick it out. And on top of that, you get $82 worth of in-color stuff. Oh, cat, move. You get all 5 stamp sets. You get all 5 markers. You get the full pack of the DSP that we used today, and you get a full pack of the whole in color family. All right, and all of that's $82 worth of product. You get it for free in addition to your $125 worth of product that you get to choose. You also get a paper pumpkin, and you get free shipping. So if you missed the free shipping deal the other day, it's okay. When you get the starter kit, you get free shipping anyways. So that's a super great deal. So if you're interested, and then besides that, you get me as your team leader. And we have a lot of fun at our team meetings and at other things that we do together. So if you want to be part of that, you want to be part of the crafty community, then come on in and join us. I know a lot of you are already a part of this crafty community here on Junebug Creations, or maybe even in Junebug's Creators. But if you want to be a part of my Stampin' Up! Family and the greater Stampin' Up! Family, you are welcome to join us. So just let me know, reach out through DM or message me below. I want in colors, and I will reach out to you and we can have a chat. So it is Thursday. So this is it for Thunderstruck Thursday. I look forward to seeing you again next week. I am going to be crafting all weekend, but not online. And I'm also going fishing. So cross your fingers for me that I finally catch my first fish, because I've never caught a fish and I really want to catch a fish. So hopefully this rain will be gone by Sunday and we can go fishing. So have a great Memorial weekend, and I will see you all back here next week. Bye-bye.